If you are a young person and you're looking to go get hired at a job, whether that be a service business or you want to be a cashier or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're in high school or just got out of high school and you're looking for a job, this video is for you, because I'm going to tell you what it is that employers are looking for that make you attractive when they're looking through all the applicants. So let's jump right into it. Sorry for this video quality. The light is going down, and I'm in the car for a bit, so I figured I'd just turn the video camera on and go through this. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I have hired a number of employees, and a number of employees have left, and I've interviewed a lot of people for positions in my company, and some things that I'm finding are very common right now are a little bit concerning. So the first topic that I want to talk about is confidence. And this is not confidence like egotistical, I'm better than you type confidence. This confidence is, it's almost like an inner strength, right? It's like you have belief in yourself, and you know that you are valuable, but not in a way that is annoying. So how does a person show this type of confidence? This type of confidence would be shown like if I were to give you a problem to solve, right? I'm in an exterior cleaning company, so let's say there's a house and there's a bunch of weird structures around the house, maybe some trees in the way, and your assignment is to clean the windows. So you got to figure out how to get the ladder in there and get all your equipment where it needs to be to successfully clean the window. Confidence would be if I gave you that assignment and you, in the back of your mind, weren't completely sure how you're going to solve that problem. The confident person would be like, yes, I've got this, I will figure this out. And then you take action and you test things and you experiment, and sometimes you ask pointed questions, not how do you want me to do every little step, but instead, hey, I'm running into this specific issue. Is there a best practice for this? Right? It's unfortunately right now, what I see in a lot of people is a lack of it's almost like a lack of freedom. Like maybe they were raised in a place where they didn't think that they were allowed to be free thinkers and think for themselves. And so what you want to do is have that confidence and trust in yourself that you can solve the problem, right? You have the mental capacity to figure out issues and solve those problems without being handheld the entire way. So enough on confidence, but confidence is the biggest one for me, right? When I'm looking for people, I need someone who is confident, but not egotistical or pompous. Okay, the next one, which kind of plays off of the confidence example that I just gave, is problem solving. So in life, there's a bajillion different problems that you'll run into. And if you're a young person, you might have grown up in a family where you have to constantly solve problems, or you might have grown up in a family where you don't have to solve any problems. But when you get in the workplace, you're going to have to solve problems. You're going to have to solve relationship problems. You're going to have to solve specifically work-related problems. You're going to have to solve how to fix things when they break problems, especially in the industry that I'm in, where you're dealing with a lot of equipment, and that equipment breaks down and degrades over time. So you're constantly taking care of it and fixing things that might break, or avoiding damage to that equipment so that you don't have to fix it. So the reason that confidence plays into problem solving is that if you don't first have confidence in yourself and your ability to solve, then you will never take the first step to solve, right? If you sat in school and they gave you here's step 1 through 5 and how you solve this specific math equation. And all you do is exactly what the steps say, and you never think outside the box. That's a limiting mindset. And I think the education system, this doesn't need to turn into a political talk, but I think the education system is a little bit to blame here, because people are used to following step-by-step instructions instead of figuring it out. So, problem solving. Be able to see a problem, envision in your mind what a positive end state would look like, and then build a plan, a mental plan in your mind going from the current problem state to the desired end state. That's what I'm talking about with problem solving. Okay, and then not only do you come up with the plan in your head, but then you execute, right? You take action on that plan. And taking action might be by yourself. It might be going to your boss and saying, hey, here's the current problem. I've played it out in my mind, and this is how I think we can solve this problem. If you do that, if you go to your boss with a pre-thought out solution to a problem, you will almost instantaneously become extremely valuable to that manager or that boss, because that person is going to see that you are not just presenting issues, you're presenting solutions. And solutions is why we get paid, right? Even the grocery store, the solution is people need food, and they need it conveniently, so they're not driving all over the country trying to find the stuff they need to bake dinner, right? And so the grocery store goes out and collects all these different pieces of food from all over the place, brings them into one place so that the people that want to eat food can go there, purchase all the stuff they need, go home and make their dinner. That's solving a problem. And the grocery store gets paid for solving that problem. In my industry, we do exterior cleaning. The problem that we're solving might be clogged gutters. It might be I can't see out of my windows because they're dirty. It might be my driveway is slippery and it's got moss and mildew all over it, or my roof is getting unhealthy, or whatever. We are solving a problem for people. So keep that in mind. Problem solving is extremely, extremely important. And in order to be an effective problem solver, you need to have personal confidence, right? And then the last one is communication, right? These days, communication has kind of fallen apart at a certain level. It's almost like there's been dialects of English that has just been born out of the social media age. And while there is a time and a place for that, and there are people who understand that, especially people your age, in a service business or any industry, you're not just serving people just like you. You're serving anyone from the 99-year-old grandmother who can barely hear and grew up in a completely different era than you. And you're also serving people that are just a few years older than you, right? So communication is not just how you put information out. It's how you present yourself while you're putting that information out. It is putting yourself in the other person's shoes and thinking about how is this person going to receive the information I'm trying to put out, right? So it almost goes with like an empathy, where you're putting yourself in that receiver's shoes so that you can solve the problem of how do I get the information to this person effectively so they understand it, it's articulated nicely so that they can get what I'm talking about, and then we can move on to whatever it is that you need to move on to. So one of the things about communication is not just the words, but it's the body language. There's a lot of communication these days that is done through screens, through text. And I think a lot of younger generation have lost a little bit of the ability to use and read body language. So body language communicates a lot more than the words that come out of your mouth. So when you're confident, you're going to show different type of body language than when you're insecure. A confident person will walk upright and will have bright eyes and will have kind of a strength and a structure about them. If you're insecure, you're going to walk around with maybe shifty eyes or unsure eyes or worried looking eyes or maybe even scared eyes. Your body will be depressed a little bit. Your shoulders might be curled forward a little bit. Your, different body parts will just be not in the area that they're supposed to be, right? Roll your shoulders back, pick your head up, look forward, look at the person's eyes, read their body language, be invested in the other person when you're having a conversation with them. So I'm going to stop this video here because it's getting a little bit longer than I expected, but if you are young or you grew up in a situation where you didn't have a whole lot of guidance and didn't get a whole lot of exposure and training in these areas, please listen to this video, even though it's crappy quality, even though it's like almost nighttime and I'm shooting this on my iPhone. Listen to this video and personalize it. Think about, how am I going to be confident and not offensive? How am I going to solve problems and be helpful to the environment that I'm in? And then how am I going to effectively communicate with people so that they understand what I'm saying and they feel like I understand them and I value them? So that's all I've got for tonight. Leave me some comments down below. If you're a business owner and you're dealing with trying to hire employees and you're running into the same issues, I'd love to hear what type of things you see in the younger generation, how maybe we might be able to help the younger generation learn some of these things and implement some of these things, because the younger generation is who's going to be running the planet here in a few short years when I'm the old guy, and we want to make sure that they're prepared and ready for that and get the experience that they need. So if you're in the young person boat and you're out there trying to find a job, please take heed to what I'm saying, internalize it, leave me a comment down below if there's anything I can do to help you out. And until next time, I'm Brandon Kelly. We'll see you in the next video. See you later.